wrestling news and results. That's Palm Wrestling. Let's get into it one more time. Top 10 takes. A little delayed on a Wednesday. Normally we drop on Tuesday nights. Got a little busy last night. Couldn't get things together, but that means we got a double shot today with top 10 takes. And then later on, after AEW Dynamite, I will be finishing off and compiling my first inaugural list of midweek must-see matches. So come on back for that later this evening for another rant on a Wednesday, the first ever one on the best matches so far in the month of March. We're on March 15th right now, so we're going to take a look back at basically the entire month of March so far, as we're literally right smack dab, right in the middle of it for midweek must-see matchups. And there's been a lot of good shit and a lot of different companies already in the month of March. So we'll be talking about that in the second rant later dropping tonight. But for now, top 10 takes. We're going to take a look back, on Monday Night Raw from Monday night. So we're under 3 weeks now going to WrestleMania. The build is now. These are must-build shows, basically, to get the card together for WrestleMania. Everything getting put together in little spots, a little here and there. Everything slowly coming to fruition with the card. But there was some stuff on this show as well for a 3-hour Raw. You're always going to kind of get that no matter any way you shake it out. Some kind of filler stuff too. So can't say I was completely all in on this show, but for a WrestleMania type build show, this was all right. Particularly some stuff we'll talk about near the bottom half of top 10 takes. So let's get into this. This is from Monday Night Raw. It would have been the 13th of March. Top 10 takes, folks. Let's go. Number 10 is the, like I was just talking about, filler, the unnecessary filler matches. I would call them unnecessarily bordering on squash matches. For sure, a squash match in the mix here was the matchup, I think mid-show, something around there, of Elias, and he worked against Bronson Reed. I don't know why they had this. It appears Bronson Reed doesn't have anything scheduled for the WrestleMania card, but it was just there. It was a squash that just was a actual squash. On a side note, I wish Bronson Reed would be programmed with Brock Lesnar instead of Omos. So just throwing it out there. Hell, you can take Bronson Reed against Lashley at WrestleMania, which we're going to talk about potentially some shifting stuff with Bobby Lashley in a moment here on Top 10 Takes. But besides that, a Bronson Reed Elias match, we also had Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin. I just did not need that match at all. It was not offensively bad or anything like that, but it was just unnecessary. Angelo Dawkins and Austin Theory was bordering on that as well. But I get they got to give Austin Theory some wins going into this WrestleMania match with John Cena. And, the Street Profits are kind of in that babyface vein with Cena. They got that fan favorite appeal to them for sure, so I can see why they did it. I did like the interactions with Montez Ford. What's going on there? Is there a turn coming in, or what is happening with Street Profits? We'll see where they go with that. But yeah, I didn't get the promo as well with Austin Theory kind of burying talent. There's been a lot of burials on promos of talent the last few weeks, and which it's kind of a weird thing when you think about it leading to WrestleMania here. It makes me wonder if maybe Vince McMahon has clawed his way into creative a little bit with stuff like that. Let's talk about number 9. Oh, Keith joining the Maximum Male models. This might have potential down the road. Right now, I'm not convinced on it. Boy, they were really making Chad Gable look like a toolbox in the midst of all this, too. Some okay, some not okay, some burial kind of feeling stuff. The way their verbiage on him, calling him a midget and all these kind of weird, terms that they're using for Chad Gable out of nowhere. I don't get what's up with that. So that's number 9, Otis with the maximum male models now. We'll see where they go with it. I don't know. I mean, it's better, I guess, than the Constant Alpha Academy thing. But time will tell where this goes long term. How about number 8? I'm going to talk a little bit about the couple builds for WrestleMania matches I found were a little bit bizarre on this episode of Raw. First one was the Asuka, Bianca Belair stuff, which was basically the same fucking shit they did last week with the build. It's just weird. It's awkward. Like, let's do something a little bit more something. How about the 6-woman tag stuff with Trish getting taken out in the back in a really weird way that they booked that angle in the back, and then the really quick promo also later on in the show just didn't connect too well for me on either of these builds for either of these women's matches at WrestleMania. How about number 7? There was absolutely no talk, no build, no promotion, no commercials, no ad for Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Word is that match may be off of the card. On Monday night, Meltzer on the Observer Radio spoke on it a little bit, said the match is tentatively still on the books for WrestleMania, but there's something going on with Bray Wyatt, some sort of medical condition, some sort of physical condition. There was some rumors and speculation that maybe creatively he wasn't happy with this direction. Remember, the original plan was Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar until Lesnar nixed that idea, and then they shifted him with Omos, and then we got Lashley and we got Bray Wyatt, which has really, quite frankly, not had much of a build yet. We had the Uncle Howdy angle, we had the workout video angle. That's really been it for this. So what might end up happening is Lashley has an open challenge at Mania where we might see maybe a new, somebody coming in akin to Cody Rhodes from last year's WrestleMania, something along those lines. I mean, they could bring in Jay White. There's supposedly a pretty upper card talent that is a free agent that they're looking to sign. I'm not sure who that is, but that may be the spot at WrestleMania against Bobby Lashley if things fall apart with Bray Wyatt for whatever the reason. They could also put in another guy like Solo Sikoa, or, I mean, there's tons. I talked about Bronson Reed. There's a ton of talent that they could put in this spot against Lashley, no question about it. But knowing WWE, they're going to want to make it a surprise. They're going to want to make it mean something. Time will tell what happens with this interesting direction going now with potentially Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt completely off Mania. And what would happen to Bray Wyatt long term if this happens? I don't know. It's hard to say. It's speculative because we don't know exactly what is going on with the injury or the holdup with Bray Wyatt at the moment. Let's talk about number 6. This one probably would have been much higher on the top 10 takes, but this just flat out sucked ass. Lesnar and Omos in their segment was clunky, it was bluesy, it was funky, it was wacky, it was weird, it was awkward. You name it. This segment just did not connect to me, particularly the attempt at a clothesline or throwing Lesnar out of the ring was just all around bad. So I don't have high hopes for this match in Mania at all. And I think I've said it before in other rants, but man, Brock Lesnar deserves so much more than this, especially if there's some speculation that this might be Lesnar's last match in his contract, so he may take some time away or who knows what. So if that's the case, to go out against Omos, unless they're going to put him, Lesnar is going to put him over, I don't get it at all. But I think we all kind of know what this match is going to be. It's going to be a one-trick pony, the F5 to Omos. That's going to be it. That's your WrestleMania moment right there for that match. Number 5, we get into the matches now, some of the better matches on Raw. Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio against Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis. Pretty good, solid tag match. I thought everybody looked pretty good in this match. Dexter Lumis has working shoes on for sure. Gargano, well, he's working hard, was helping carry the load of the match. I think this was a win-win. Everybody looked fine here. The finish was fine. And we keep moving forward with things. This was related to the Edge Finn Balor segment we're going to talk about in a moment. How about number 4? Speaking of Dominic, the Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio segment. I think this is probably going to come to a head, and the match will be official probably in next Monday or Friday on Raw or SmackDown. Could happen even this Friday. It's on its way for sure. I thought this segment was tremendous. The promo work by both guys was great. The drama, all of the above in this segment was pretty strong. I'm actually looking forward to this match, and I did not think I would be all about Dominic and Rey Mysterio, but they've done a really good job with the character development of Dominic, particularly, where this is actually connecting quite well to lead to this. So we'll be, like I said, next week, maybe even Friday on SmackDown. Hey, I've got to finalize this storyline to get the match set. I wonder if they're going to bring in Rey Mysterio's family at one of these shows coming up. And that is what happens. Maybe Dominic does something to his sister or his mom, and Rey just snaps and has enough, and there comes the match from there. Number 3, Cody Rhodes and LA Knight had a solid match for sure. And I give credit on this one as well for Knight looking good in there against Cody Rhodes. Also, the promo after the match itself was a fucking solid as fuck promo. Definitely a WrestleMania material promo. Cody cut a fucking great promo to just give more credence that he's going to be the guy to probably beat Roman Reigns in just a little under 3 weeks of WrestleMania. How about number 2, that main event, Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa street fight. The commercial breaks kind of took away from it a little bit, but it was still a really solid main event. The angle afterwards was great as well. What can you say? It was a really good main event. Probably one of the better main events Raw's had in a little while. I think that the crowd heat for most of the show was not there, but they seemed to be very much into this stuff at the end of the show with the big main event here. So good stuff. Owens, Sikoa, the angle after where Owens got laid out. He didn't want Cody. He didn't want Sami Zayn there. Well, that's where we're going with this angle as well. Obviously, Owens is going to finally kind of reconcile a little bit, and we're going to get that Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens against the Uso match at WrestleMania. That also has to be, I would think, Friday has to go down or get close to it, and they got to announce this match ASAP because I think this may be the main event of night 1. Let's see where they go with it. And then how about number 1 on this Raw Top 10 Takes? Edge and Finn Balor at the Hell in the Cell is announced and set via this promo to kick off the show where the crowd was into it. They were feeling Edge. They were feeling Balor. The promo stuff, the verbiage was solid. I like the thought of Hell in the Cell again at WrestleMania. It's been a while. I'm trying to think of the last one that they did. It's been a while. Probably Taker and Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, I guess was the last one. So I believe the 4th Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. And I think this has definitely a potential to be a star stealer at one of the nights of Mania because they're probably going to be going particularly with a pretty cool direction. This was originally planned for Royal Rumble, by the way. Of Demon Finn Balor against Brood Edge. So with all those components, you're getting a lot of pyrotechnics. The entrances are going to be cool as hell. I think the match is going to be pretty damn good as well. It hasn't been a Hell in a Cell match in a while. So good shit right there. Number 1, Edge, Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell. A huge match set for WrestleMania. Now I think that's a huge addition to either one of these nights, which... by the way, the matches have really not been announced for one night or the other, but one could assume Cody and Roman, night 2 main event, Zayn, Owens against the Usos, night 1 main event, or Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, night 1. There's been some talk that was kind of locked in at one point, so that might be your night 1 main event. Also, the word is that Seth Rollins and Logan Paul is set for night 1. That's really all they've really said on the placement of the matches at this point. So there you go. That's top 10 takes from Raw this past week. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And come on right back here later this evening for the inaugural midweek must-see matches where I talk about all the best matches of this time period as well as a kerplunk match of the moment, which is like shitty as fuck. Watch out. This match sucks. So come on back for some midweek must-see matchups right here, Wrestling Rants. See ya!